Hi, welcome to practice. So this is going to be a lovely 20-minute practice, which it's going to be a bit of a mixture between a restorative and a yin, more towards restorative. So I would recommend getting something soft for under your knees, for under your back body, for your arms. We're not going to be doing any standing, so just so you know. So it'll be about 20 minutes. So let's begin. I invite you to come to all fours. So your hands, place your hands down. I'll just tie my hair back so my hair doesn't get in the way. Okay, so all fours, tabletop position. So your wrist creases are parallel to the edge of the mat. Your fingers are spreading wide. And you're lengthening through all of your fingers, including your thumb. And you can curl onto the balls of your feet to help open up the bottom of the feet. And from here, we're going to come into cat-cow. So on the inhale, feel your tailbone start to go up towards the sky as your belly softens and your heart starts to come through your shoulders and your head comes forward. On the exhale, start to push down through your hands. Start to anchor your tailbone down towards the ground as you curl up through your spine. Pushing down to your hands, then the inhale comes and the tailbone goes up, the belly softens, the heart comes through the shoulders. You can have a little bend in the elbows if that feels nice. And then an exhale, rounding your spine, releasing all of the air, pushing down through your knees and your hands. Inhaling. Slowly coming up through your spine, shoulders onto the back, and then exhale, releasing the air, allowing the belly to gather back to the spine, all the way till the end of the breath. And we'll do 2 more of those. Inhale, tailbone rises. Pelvis tilts, belly softens, heart comes through the shoulders gather on the back, and then the exhale, it's the rounding of the spine, releasing all of the air from the body. 1 more. Inhale from your tailbone, through the sacrum, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the back of the neck, and then the head. And exhaling, curling in. Looks like you're looking at your belly button, pushing down through your hands and your knees, finding length through your arms and your legs. And then we'll inhale to neutral. And just bring your bum back to your heels. Take a seat for a moment. So now we've opened up the spine, we've created some space, a little bit of fluidity through the spine. So we're going to come down onto our stomach. So imagine you're coming down into cobra. You can just come down though gently, gently, gently. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose from here. So for Sphinx pose, place your elbows underneath your shoulders and push down through the tops of the hands, and a little bit of a press through the tops of the feet and the pubic bone, just a small amount, and finding length in the back of your neck. So push down through the forearms and the hands and the elbows, and it's like you're pulling your hands towards your pelvis, and that will create a natural curvature in your spine. But keep your face soft, the back of the neck soft, so you're not moving from the face. So you feel the weight of your legs heavy. The front of the pelvis is spreading. And the work is happening through the forearms, the hands and the elbows, pressing down. And you're encouraging, it's like you're pulling them back towards your hips. And then you'll feel your shoulders gather together on the back. And then perhaps your head rises a little bit. But I really encourage you to keep length in the back of your neck. So your gaze may be down, you may have a soft gaze. And now bring your awareness to your lower belly. And take a breath here. Imagine the breath is coming up through the earth and filling the space of your belly. And then traveling out the back. And then exhaling back through the back of the pelvis, down into this belly, down into the earth. As you feel your bones releasing. Inhale, imagine the breaths coming up through the earth and filling the space of your belly. And traveling out the other side. And then exhaling back down through the belly, down into the earth. And then bring that same practice up to the heart space. So imagine the breath is coming through the front of the heart, the chest, traveling out the back. Then the exhale, and you might feel like your heart softens a little bit and your shoulders melt a little bit more onto your back. Take another breath here. Inhale, breathing in through the front of the chest. And it's filling the space in your lungs, then it travels out the back. And then the exhale, feeling the empty of the lungs and the heart softening forward. And then from here, slowly start to release your body down towards the ground. You can make a pillow with your hands, so place one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead onto your hands and give your bum a little shake from side to side. We're going to come into crocodile pose from here. So the right knee will come out to the side and the right angle. Or if that feels uncomfortable at all, you can bring it in like you're in tree pose or Baddha Konasana. So wherever your leg feels most comfortable, and your arms, they could be in, what is this called? Goalpost arms? Cactus arms. So your arms could be in cactus. Or you could have one as a pillow and then one arm out. It's totally up to you. But wherever you choose to be, allowing the body to be able to release and surrender down into the ground with your breath. And on each exhale, feeling like your body's melting, like the bones are like granules, grains of sand, draining down into the earth. And let's take the breath, imagining it's coming up through the earth on the inhale, traveling through the belly and the navel and out the back. And on the exhale, it's traveling through and down and into the ground as your weight gets heavier. Inhale in, comes up through the ground, through your belly, through the back of the pelvis. And exhale, the breath releases back down. And we'll take one more breath together. On the inhale, the belly fills, your belly presses into the ground and rises at the back, and the breath travels through. And the exhale travels back down and spreads and fills the space and releases and absorbs back down into the ground. And very slowly, we're going to come back up through the middle. So perhaps have a little bit of a press down through the left leg as you slowly start to release the right leg to be extended by the left leg. And then coming back up through the center into Sphinx pose, and we'll just rest here for a moment before we come to the second side. So your elbows are under your shoulders and taking up the space that you need in your neck. Then perhaps a little figure of 8 with the nose, just to release any tensions, any gripping or any holding that might be in the neck, on the muscles of the neck. So it's just like you're drawing a figure of 8 with your nose. It's just like going side to side. You don't quite catch what I'm suggesting. Quite a nice little movement. Okay, and you can come back to center, and we'll come to the second side. So first of all, just come down, and then the left leg comes out to the side, and then you can decide if you would like that at a right angle, or a bit more like a tree, or Baddha Konasana for crocodile, and then deciding if you'd like your arms in cactus, or one straight out perhaps and a pillow with the other. You can experiment and play where you'd like your arms. I quite like one in cactus and then a pillow with the other. Or you could get a pillow or a scarf and put that underneath your head. Just start to focus your mind on your breath and the rise and fall, and start to direct it down to the lower belly, perhaps a little bit more up towards the navel this time. As you inhale, feeling the belly and the navel press down into the ground, like the breath's traveling up through the center of your navel and out the other side. And on the exhale, feeling the release and the spreading of your front body down into the earth as you empty the breath. And the inhale comes and it fills the space of your abdomen, your navel center, and it travels out through the back. And on the exhale, it travels back down and through the body, back down into the earth. You can take a few more breaths like that on your own. And each exhale, really allowing your weight to be received by the support of the ground beneath your body. And this is the last breath now. Exhale all your air out. Have a full release down into the ground. And push down through your hands. To perhaps bring your head back to center. And then also push down through the extended right leg to start to help to extend the left leg back alongside. And come back up through Sphinx pose. Okay, so from here, we'll come back up and we can come back up onto the knees. And then through to the hands. Take the bum back to the heels. It's so nice getting into the hips and releasing the body down into the ground. Okay, so let's just take a child's pose before we come into our final postures. So your knees can be wide, your feet can be touching. Then you can extend your arms, you can make a pillow, you can make fists if you would like a little bit more space in the back of your neck, which I think I do in this moment. Feeling your belly soft and round. Feeling the sacrum in between the two halves of your pelvis. Perhaps having a little side to side sway. Just to create a little bit of movement between the two halves of the pelvis. And take a big inhale and fill the space of your lower belly once again. And on the exhale, feel the weight of your bones just falling down into the ground. Letting go of all effort. And then we'll come up to a seat. And we'll take it's like a 90-90, I guess. So your legs can be stacked or they can be separated. You can decide. And then your hands are going to come out to the side. So take an inhale. So you're in a bit of a twist here now. So take an inhale. Feel the length of your spine. Feel the length of your neck. And as you exhale, start to lower your body down to the ground, lowering down. And your arms, once again, it's totally up to you how you'd like to place yourself, but this is a restorative pose. So you may wish to put a hand underneath or have a pillow or blanket, or cactus arms might feel nice. You might want your knees a bit closer to your tummy or further away. Just have a little experiment and a little play of how you'd like to place your body. And when you find that spot, it should feel really good. So as you inhale, expand your body with your breath. And the exhale, feel the release, feel the weight of you being received by the ground. We'll take 5 breaths here. Nice, full, long breaths. Noticing the rib cage that's facing the ceiling, noticing it rising up. And the space expanding in between the ribs And the exhale, feel the release, the ribs softening as the lung empties. Just allowing your mind to follow the breath, the rise and fall of your breath. And we'll inhale. Push down through the hands to rise your body up. And we'll come to the second side. But before we do so, let's just do a counter twist. So just look over your opposite shoulder, the opposite direction to where your knees are bent. Take a breath here. Expand the back body on the inhale and exhale, release. You can finger pad your hands back up. And we'll come to the second side. So exactly the same thing. So you're on the opposite hip now. And then your arms are going to come out. You're going to frame. It's like if you're not on a mat, imagine you're framing the mat. And take an inhale and find some length and elongation through your spine and the back of your neck. And on the exhale, start to allow the body to come down and forward. Placing it over the mat. Making a pillow with your hands or cactus. And then deciding where you'd like to place your legs. To a point of where you feel really at ease, and if you can imagine a space between the joints of the shoulders and the hips and the knees and the ankles, everything feels at ease. And if it doesn't, have a little bit of a fidget and move around, like my lower hip. With saying that, I noticed a sensation that didn't feel so good. So just by moving a couple of inches, find a bit of length. Oh, feels much better. Feeling the breath as it expands around the spine, the shoulder blades. On the inhale, feel the back body rising. And on the exhale, the belly's gathering back to the spine. Your bones get heavier, releasing down into the earth. And the inhale comes, and the back body starts to fill and rise. And the exhale, it's a softening and a release and a surrender down into the ground. Just take a few more breaths on your own. And then to come out of this pose, let's very slowly start to push through the hands to bring the body upright. The hands are framing the mat, and just look over the opposite shoulder to the way the knees are bent, just for a counter twist. Take an inhale and expand the back body with your breath. And then the exhale is soften and release. And we'll inhale again. And come and lay down on the back into constructive rest pose. So your back body's totally flat to the earth. The palms can be wide, the knees can be resting upon one another. If you would like some movement, you can inhale and take the legs up to the ceiling. And exhale, allow them to come into the knees to drop down towards the chest. And
And inhale, extend your legs up, the heels are away, the toes are flexing back towards the face. And exhale, the knees in. The feet can come down. And then with the arms, we can inhale and raise those over the head. And then exhale, lower them down. Inhale raises them up. And then the exhale lowers them down. And then the hands can be placed on the lower belly. Oh, you can push into the back of the head, nestle the shoulders down at the back. As you allow the breath to expand the belly, to meet your warm hands. And the exhale releases as the belly starts to fall down towards the earth. Taking another breath like that, expanding on the inhale, filling the space. And then the exhale releases. Perhaps it's an audible sigh. Just take a few more breaths together. Just allowing your mind to rest on your breath. And then from here, you can extend the arms and extend the legs. Have a little reach, a little wiggle of the fingers and the toes. Come and lay on your side. Just slowly press down the top hand to bring yourself up, back up to a seat. Oh. Hope you enjoyed that short practice. It doesn't take long just to come down into the body to get the fluids moving, the joints moving. So thank you for coming to practice, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.